Tropico 6 tips. If you see shacks, you should build housing in that area. The shacks is the lowest form of housing, and the quality of all the buildings are going to be better than a shack. Also, when you build a building, a house, you can eventually upgrade it into a higher quality house. Build as many ports as possible. The more ports you build, the more boats are going to come. And if more boats come, that means that you're going to export products faster. You're going to bring in money faster. And you're going to bring in immigrants faster and tourists. So many ports is an advantage. It will do things like there's going to be a cost to doing so, there's going to be crime, etc. Leave it leave at least one coastal area for tourism. So what I usually do is I find one coastal area and I put all the tourist ports over there and all the tourist hotels and the tourist attractions because the beauty rating is going to be really high. If you build a port, a regular port in a tourist area, it's going to impact it. So I keep them separate from the rest of my population. Try to find a luxury item such as rum and produce as much as possible as early in the game as possible. What I usually do when I start the game, my plan is to build. What I usually do at the start of the game, my plan is to build a rum distillery as quickly as possible so that I'm bringing in that money as quickly as possible and exporting the goods. Learn to export goods because they can bring in extra income. So if you export goods, you can bring in a lot of money. And what you do is you look at your storage, what you have large quantity in stock, and just export it, get rid of it. Because anything that's in storage in surplus is not being used and won't be used. It could be anything. It could be corn, it could be gold, whatever it is. The best way to increase population is through immigration. There is a birth rate. One of the games had an option where you had the clinic and it increased the chance that a woman would give birth, but it must not be in Tropico 6, it must be in Tropico 5. You want to keep people older for a longer time. It keeps your population number higher, which means that they have to have health care. And you want to get the immigration office, you want to hire immigrants, and there's actually in the broker there's an option where you can pay to attract for like 12 immigrants using the slush fund, the Swiss bank account. If your island is happy, if your wages are good and the environment is good, you'll bring in more immigrants. Try to bribe the head of every faction so they align with you. One of the things I did was I just went and started bribing everyone. You're going to need a lot of power plants. Some of the buildings need power when they upgrade. So you're thinking, well, I only need one nuclear power plant for the island. No, you're going to need a lot of power. The nuclear power plant it doesn't produce the same amount of power as the real world. There are some that are ecological. I believe that they are called geothermal plants or something. Read through all of the edicts. Some can bring in more tax revenue. Some can be used to make people happier. Some are used to make people work more efficiently. Some are for healthcare. So read through all of them because there's some of them you're really going to like and are going to help you in the game. Most of the tips for Tropico 4, 5, and 6 are similar. So if you read the other Tropico tips, you might be able to pick up an additional tip here and there. Read through the almanac. Read through the almanac on a regular basis. It has information about profitable buildings, items that you have in stock, where problem areas are, etc. You probably want to do it on a regular basis, such as once a year. Okay, these are my tips for Tropico. This is July 29, 2022. If many months have gone by since you watched this video, there's a good chance I'll have more tips over here at the bottom. So you can come back to my forum at cheapbooks.cc, go to the video game section, and look for Tropico and Tropico 6. it'll probably be under City Builder Simulation or something like that. And you will probably see more tips over here. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.